How is it going, everybody? It's officially the end of the 2024 season. 2025 season is officially here. What do you guys think? Super Bowl is over. I'm going to say this. I was hoping that the Philly fans weren't happy after tonight. But you know what? Watching the Chiefs' downfall tonight, I saw someone tweet, ML Football said, you got to be a sick motherfucker to be happy for the Chiefs' downfall. I might be the sickest. I might have leukemia. I might have bronchitis. I might be like the sickest man in America because I was so happy watching the Chiefs downfall today. I know it wasn't the Niners. I know we're like rooting for the Eagles, to beat the Chiefs at that point. But God, it felt so good. Patrick Mahomes was just cooked. He couldn't throw the ball. DeAndre Hopkins couldn't catch the ball. Travis Kelce, nowhere to be found. He's done. He's washed. And, I was happy because I said all along for like the last year and a half, D-Hop is washed. D-Hop is washed. I got a lot of people saying, oh, no. D-Hop is officially washed. I'm done with that, man. We couldn't even catch. But let me tell you, the biggest takeaway watching this Super Bowl and the 49ers, I pray that they watch this film. I hope John Lynch was studying very closely. Fortify the trenches, please. The O-line and D-line of the Eagles was insane, man. I'll tell you what, that O-line is just bigger than everybody, and it's hard to get past them. And that D-line, that was nasty, and they were just cooking up the Chiefs' offensive line. So Niners need to stack the trenches, man. Stack the trenches. They have to hype that up. They have to get it locked in. Robert Saleh, he's back. Get this man a defensive line because he ain't cooking with what he had, what the Niners had last year. We saw it. Get this man a D-line. Go build the trenches. Build the O-line because, the Eagles had all day to throw. They could have made a peanut butter sandwich behind that line. Jalen Hurts could have made sandwiches and had time to throw. Saquon Barkley didn't even do nothing. Like, the Chiefs' game plan was to neutralize Saquon Barkley and make Jalen Hurts beat them. They were like, okay, we're going to take away Saquon. They did a pretty good job of stopping the run, but they could not stop the passing game. They couldn't stop Jalen Hurts, and they just had all time. The Eagles had all day to throw. That's what you need, an O-line. O-line. Chiefs Spags wants to take out Barkley. Great. They couldn't stop Devontae Smith. They couldn't stop A.J. Brown. They couldn't stop him. And then the defense was crazy. They were getting pressure on Mahomes. He was throwing errant passes. Cooper DeJean, yo. That's how a white boy plays cornerback. I was loving that, bro. Cooper DeJean, dog, man, dog. I was like, damn. I wish the 49ers would have drafted him. He's an absolute dog, man. He's invited to the cookout for sure. My friend texted, he goes, yo, Raj, Cooper DeJean, he invited to the cookout. I said, yeah, he said, absolutely. That guy is an absolute dog, man. Clamp champ. Niners, they can have that if you have a good D-line. You can get pressure on it. If you get pressure on someone, you're going to have time to play good defense in the secondary. So, yeah, how's everybody feeling? A good O-line neutralizes Spags blitzes. Absolutely, JR. They weren't blitzing. They weren't putting pressure because they knew if they were putting pressure, they weren't. The Eagles O-line was just too good, man. It is what it is. If they started putting pressure, then they would have just dumped it off to Saquon, or they would have, threw some tosses to him, and then Saquon would have cooked. So you pick your poison. And again, the Chiefs wanted to try to neutralize Saquon, but they couldn't put pressure on Jalen Hurts because, they have good team. Shout out to the Eagles, man. No hate is what it is, but it was definitely nice to see the Eagles beat the Chiefs the way they put up a 40-burger. Like, it was nice to see Patrick Mahomes crying on the sideline, Travis Kelce pouting on the sideline, Chris Jones crying. I wish it was the 49ers. I will say, I really wish it was the 49ers. So next season, the Super Bowl's at Levi Stadium, man. And I hope we're there. The Chiefs finally didn't get bailed out from the refs. Yeah. Did you see that? The refs didn't really help the Chiefs. The first quarter, the first drive, everybody's like, oh, no. Remember A.J. Brown? He gets like a OPI. He put the hands to the face. I could see it. It was like a weak call, but I guess it was the right call. But everybody's like, oh, here come the Chiefs. Here come the refs. Here come the refs. And after that, Chiefs didn't get any help from the refs. So Nick Sirianni won a Super Bowl before Kyle Shanahan. It makes me sick, but he's built a good team. Vic Fangio. Shout out to my guy, Vic, former 49ers defensive coordinator, man. Former 49ers defense coordinator, Vic Fangio. He really turned that defense around. Did you see how he turned that defense around? Like the Eagles were one of the worst defenses last year in points per game. I think they were like dead last or among the last 3 teams. They were one of the worst ranked defenses in every category. This year, they were either 1 or 2. They were the top defense, top scoring defense. They were good. Points loud. And that's Vic Fangio, man. Shout out to Vic, man. Well done. Shout out to Vic, man. Happy for him. I wish the 49ers would have got him. The Niners tried to get him. But Kyle's like, I don't want him because he's going to change the defensive scheme. If he would have changed it to what the Eagles got, we would have won a Super Bowl. But I digress. Nick Sorensen over Vic Fangio might have been the worst decision Kyle Shanahan ever made. Ha! Ha! Crazy. How are we this close and so far away? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's tough. No, it's tough. Got to give credit to Nick Sirianni. He adapted that, man. He did, man. You got it. You're right, throwback. As much as I hate to say it, you got to give credit to Nick Sirianni. Yo, right now, as it stands, better than Kyle Shanahan. He got the Super Bowl. 4 years as a coach, he's been to the Super Bowl twice, and he's got one. And he beat the Chiefs. He beat Andy Reid. He took down. He didn't just beat them. He beat the piss out of them. Woo! That's good stuff, man. Shout out to Oren Burks. He learned how to cover when he's not a night. Yo, how about Oren Burks? This guy turned into Fred Warner on the Eagles. Where was this with the Niners? Where was Patrick Mahomes last season playing this bad against the Niners, bro? This guy was like a magician, right? John Feliciano tweeted that out. I love it. Oh, man. Love the shirt. Appreciate it. Look at the Jerry Rice. We had to rep the GOAT today. I was like, I got to wear some Niners, but I'm going to wear up some Jerry Rice. Shout out to Lolita Customs. This is probably one of my favorite shirts they gave me. Jerry Rice. It's got the championship rings. This is a really good detailed shirt. It's actually one of my favorite ones they ever gave me. So, and Eagle just copycats. Hey, it's what you got to do. It's a copycat league, man. It's a copycat league. And now the Niners need to copy that. Copy that. They just gave us the blueprint. Go stack the lines. What's up, NFL me, my man? What's good? Snow Bunny, what's good? Niners will make it next year. I hope so. Got to get healthy. They had a good offseason so far. Let's talk about Deebo Samuel, shall we? Did you guys hear the news? Yeah, you guys heard the news. We talked about it this morning. You've been on the page all day. Deebo Samuel has requested a trade. Sheesh. Taylor Swift going to dump Travis in the morning. He might. We'll talk about that. But Deebo Samuel requested a trade. Where do you think he's going, guys? Where do you think he goes? It's the end of the Deebo Samuel era. Fans are throwing so much shade at him, but like toxicity. I mean, I get it. We're mad. We're like upset. He hasn't lived up to his contract, but I'm not going to hate on Deebo because he had some good moments with us. He had some great times. 2021 was a magical run, and he carried that team. But, he has fallen off. But I think it's best for both parties that the Niners and Deebo just separate. I think they both need a clean slate. I think you just need to move on. Sometimes it's not meant to be. You're here for a reason at some point. Your time sometimes expires with the person. It's like in a relationship. Sometimes it's just not going to work, right? And right now it's not going to work with Deebo anymore. And you part your ways. And I think Deebo needs a fresh start for him. He needs to go to a team that maybe, will give him, different opportunities. And maybe he thinks he needs different, offensive system or more utilization in the offense or whatever. I think he just needs a fresh start. I think it'll be good for him mentally. I think mentally with the Niners, his time is done. And I think whatever the Niners can get, they go and get it. And no hard feelings, man. Yeah. C-Max says, could you imagine the Niners winning the Super Bowl at home? I'd cry for days. Are you kidding me? I would be bawling. I'd be balling. If the 49ers win next year in Levi Stadium, Ah, man, I just please, begging me, please. I need it so bad next year. Deebo going to the Eagles or Commanders? Maybe Commanders, right? Maybe. They got Adam Peters. There's some like he can go to a lot of teams next year. The Commanders make sense. Adam Peters, right? They got the Adam Peters link. Philly, AJ Brown's his boy. That's his guy. He already wore the Eagles jersey, right? It makes sense now. Miami Mike, right? You got Mike McDaniel. He used to be, with Deebo there. He kind of low-key was recruiting him a couple years back. Could go Houston, D'Amico Ryans, right? It could be that. There's so many opportunities for Deebo Samuel to go somewhere. We'll see. Whatever happens with Deebo, I wish him all the best, man. I got no ill will towards Deebo. We get T. Higgins? No, he's too much. I think, and I've said this many times, you guys have heard me, broken record season. Garrett Wilson, that's the guy. Go get Garrett Wilson. He's young. Was he 24, 25? He's on a rookie contract still. He's a great route runner. Like Deebo Samuel, I love the guy. He's been great. But he couldn't separate with the gun to his head. Like he can't right now. He's lost that electricity. Maybe on a new team, he can get that back. But with the 49ers, he showed he can't. They tried to make him a focal point, and he was dropping the ball. I think it's all in here. He needs to be on another team. Garrett Wilson, guys, a young star on the rise. And you got to remember, Brandon Ayuk, he might not be back till midseason. Who knows? You need a young stud that can stretch the field and run the route tree. And that's Garrett Wilson. So what do I think about next season? We going, baby. We going. We're going to make it at least the playoffs. I mean, we got an easy schedule. It looks good. The cheetah for Deebo? I mean, it could happen. Shipping to the Jets? Maybe. There's a lot of opportunities. I just don't think Deebo has that value. Like, if they just trade him to a team for draft picks, you ain't getting more than a 4th-round pick. That's at best. AJ Brown, type of receiver, yeah. Big bully. T. Higgins, it's too much. He's going to want like 33 million. 33. I think it's too much. Go get Garrett Wilson. He's better. Why do we always choke on the biggest stage? I don't know. Don't remind me. Cooper Kupp. No, he's 31. He's older than Deebo. You want to talk about injury guys? Cooper Kupp's probably worse investment than Deebo. Get both Garrett's, Miles, and Wilson. Now we're talking. Devontae Adams, I would love that. I mean, I think he's still got a little bit of juice left in him. I know he's older than Cooper Kupp, and I just said you don't want the older guy, but Devontae's different. I think he's a different type of guy. I think he'd still be valuable. How do we get Garrett Wilson? Trade. You make some trades, man. Just trade Deebo. Throw some draft picks. Niners got capital. They can do it. Go get everybody. Let's get bankrupt. Let's like my boy Diablo Lenore. Diablo Lenore low-key recruiting everybody. He's going to be a front office player someday, a front office guy. What's up, Christine? I hope so, Raj. Niners have a better schedule next season. It says retro. The Niners have a very optimistic, if you look at the schedule just right now, like the opponent list, it's very promising. We look really good in terms of our future stock, right? It looks very promising. When you look at the opponent list, it's like, oh, wow. We're playing who? We're playing what? You look at it, it's like, okay. And they'll be healthy. They're already making improvements on the coaching staff. Like, just on paper right now, it looks like the 49ers will be at least a 13-win team, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? Deebo was FaceTiming AJ Brown. I'm sure he was. It's his boy. What's up, Dylan? My boy. Got a big season coming up next year. I think I'm very optimistic for next year. Again, you got an easier schedule, last place schedule. You should be healthy coming into the season. You got a better coaching staff, right? You got a hungry squad now. Your rookies are going to be your rookies from last year should be even better, and they were really good last year. Things are looking on the up and up. So, do I think Deebo coming back? Nope. He gone. Say with me. Deebo Samuel. He gone. There's no way he's coming back. Even if they don't trade him, They're cutting him post June 1st. Deebo basically asked for the trade. That's the crazy news of this whole situation. He asked for him. He said, look, it's best that we part ways. Deebo's telling the Niners, I'm done with you guys. In the middle of the season, remember, he was, I'm not struggling. I need the ball more. Kyle focused on getting the ball more, and then he struggled. He choked out Tabor Pepper. It's time to go. His time with the Niners is done. They both need a fresh start. It's over with. Super Bowl at home. It's happening. He says, I'm going to buy you a ticket. I'm going to hold you to that, Dylan. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next year, baby. My boy's getting me my ticket next year. We're going to win a Super Bowl at Levi's. The game is on, Dylan. I can't wait, man. We're going to have to cook up some content this year together. Me and Dylan going to do some stuff. We'll talk. I didn't root for anybody. Was valid. I think a lot of people didn't root for anybody in this game. But as the game went on, I think everybody was hyped to see the Chiefs lose. So, Deebo to the Browns for Myles Garrett. I think you'd have to throw in a little bit more. But I'd be down for it. I think it's not enough to get Myles Garrett. You got to trade the 11th pick in the draft, plus Deebo, plus maybe another pick. I do think that's something that could materialize. But again, the Browns are on the stance of, we're not trading Myles Garrett. It'll change in a couple of weeks as it gets closer to draft. You can't hold a man hostage. You can't hold Myles Garrett hostage. He wants to leave. It's weird if you keep him. This team's rebuilding. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Mahomes is the GOAT. Yeah, that just ended. You know who has never thrown an interception in the Super Bowl history? In history of Super Bowls? He won 4 of them. Joe Montana. Posted that one. That went pretty mega viral. Yeah, halftime show. Was it? What did you guys like the halftime show? I don't know. I think Kendrick could have played some better songs. He didn't choose his top songs. He played his popular songs, his new ones. I thought SZA would get more playing time too. It wasn't an all-time Super Bowl performance. It was all right. How's that Gold Bar whiskey, says Chris? I want to try it. How much they go for? You know what? I don't know what the actual new prices. They've been changing it, but it's good. The Gold Bar whiskey. If you like, I'm not a drinker, but I've had Gold Bar whiskey many times. I said I'm not a drinker, but I've had Gold Bar whiskey, but it's because I go to their events, socially. I've had it a few times here and there. It's good, actually. It's not like a really tough whiskey. It's a pretty smooth one. It's good. At the tailgates, they always give me some, and when I have it, it's been good. They got a lot of cool, but it's the best part of Gold Bar is the collectible bottles, right? And that's the cool thing. They got the Joe Montana bottle. I'm not sure how much they retail for, but you can check them out. Gold Bar whiskey. They'll ship them out. The distillery's cool in San Francisco. So, am I going to Houston? Maybe I should go to Houston. I want to go to a road game. I went to one road game this year. I want to at least go to one road game next year and see the Niners play. Houston would be cool. I'm actually trying. I think the game right now that I've actually decided that I want to go on a road game is Indianapolis. I might go to Indianapolis, so we'll see. Would rather have had Lil Wayne do halftime. I mean, Lil Wayne at New Orleans, it would have gone crazy. That should have been the move. Rashad says Devontae Adams' little brother is a cool dude. That's cool, Good stuff. Let's see. What was my reaction when Deebo requested a trade? I was live earlier. I was not surprised. I think the writing was on the wall. I wasn't surprised that Deebo requested a trade because I kind of saw it coming. I kind of heard through the grapevine this might be something materializing. Because I said, I don't know if Deebo's going to be here next year, whether they cut him or trade him. Because last night, me and Smitty were live, and we said, look, the Niners have tried to trade Deebo for the last couple of years during the trade deadline, especially last year. Remember the trade deadline? They were trying to trade Brandon Ayuk. They were trying to trade Deebo because they didn't know if they were going to sign Brandon Ayuk. Then they go and draft a wide receiver. So I wasn't surprised because I kind of felt like towards the end of the season, it was like, oh, this is weird with the way Deebo's crashing out on the team. But the thing that surprised me out of it all was when Deebo, because the report from Adam Schefter was what Deebo told him, that Deebo told the 49ers during his exit interview that he wanted to trade. That was what was surprising because that day when John Lynch addressed the media with Kyle Shanahan, when they had their exit press conference, they said, we're not getting rid of Deebo. We want to keep Deebo. We are not in the business of getting rid of good players. Like, that was the surprising thing to me. Not that Deebo wanted to trade. Like, that was okay. That's makes sense, right? He wants a fresh start. He wants to get out of here. Mentally, he's probably pissed off at the Niners and the fans, like especially the fan base. The Niners are probably telling Deebo, we're going to give you a pay cut, just like Arik Armstead last year. And he's probably like, I don't want that. Let me go to another team. And the Niners are like, all right, cool. Go somewhere else and you can get paid there, whatever. But the thing that surprised me was Deebo was the one that requested it. And John Lynch, the day that he requested it, reportedly, told the Niners, the fans, and Deebo's not going anywhere. So that was the surprise to me. So, but Deebo, he gone. Only says, what games will I be at the stadium this year? I don't know. I haven't made my plans yet. It's just the season just ended today. But I will be at many games next year. Don't worry. Abel says, I'm all smiles today, but shocked Deebo wants out. The Chiefs lost. I think a lot of fans were surprised that Deebo wants out. I'm not. You know, I kind of saw it coming. The moment he crashed out on Tabor Pepper, I think that's all we needed to. I think that right there literally told us, like, he ain't going to be here no more. Like the Magic Johnson meme, he ain't going to be here this year. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that kind of was telling. It's just he's been through a lot, man. With this, and the fans, they're tired of him. Deebo needs to lock into Swaggy, I agree. Come down to New Orleans next year. My boy Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris. My guy. Of course. You know what? I might need to slide down to New Orleans next year. It would be fun next year. You know, I should have came out to New Orleans this year. I would have hung out with you. I had media credentials for Super Bowl week. I just was like, you know, I honestly thought about it. I was like, yeah, I'd rather see my patients this week. And I was a little salty this week when I saw, like, you know, Super Bowl, all the media stuff. I was like, I don't want to be there. Because last year I was there and it was like, nice bad memories watching, you know, seeing all that stuff from last year, but should have done it. Would have been cool. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl is over. 2024 season is over. A lot of excitement for next season. Smoke season starts now. Absolutely. It's time. New season is upon us, man. I'm excited. A lot of optimism. Enjoy the rest of it. Stay tuned. You know, we got a lot of things cooking. A lot of rumors are coming up. Y'all have a blessed day. Love you. Go Niners.